as consumers, we're trying to get out and support other restaurants.
Okay.
And it's a very real question of, okay, well, how long, with things sort of, with the economy temporarily, we hope, depressed, how much can we afford to go out and eat?
Basically, I know you guys have been up in that location for a while now. How long have you been there?
Yep, 5 years and 3 months.
Okay. And so your backgrounds, how did you guys, or where did you start? Like, how did you guys get into the restaurant business?
So neither of us has a restaurant background.
Okay.
When I was a kid, when I was two, one or two, my dad owned a restaurant in town, the King's Table.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, but that was 100 years ago.
I think I barely remember that.
Yeah. And I certainly didn't work there when I was two. So my only restaurant experience really is high school jobs.
Okay.
And so years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was in pharmaceutical sales, and I was part of a layoff, and I just didn't want to go back into that industry. So, and we live right up the street from La Volata.
Okay.
So as we were exploring options, the center there was largely vacant. And so, just little by little, we thought, well, gosh, what if we could put something in there? What if we could do a coffee shop? What if, we kind of went through all the options. And we both agreed that we really would like a different style of pizza in town.
Okay.
And then I saw an article in Inland Empire magazine about pizza school out in Marina del Rey. So I signed up and I went, and we kind of thought, well, if this is fun and I could see myself doing it for 12 hours a day, then maybe we can make it work. And
pizza school,
there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you or your husband Italian? Is that, or you just decided that?
Sure, there's a little in there somewhere, but no.
Okay.
He's Irish.
Oh, he is?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
That kind of answers one of my questions as to how you guys actually chose that location up there off of 4th Street, because I know it's a little tucked away. Did you feel like that may be an issue or a problem when you first started?
So I thought it was the perfect location. My husband thought we needed to be downtown. And so we looked for places downtown, and just at the time, there really wasn't anything. And I'm so happy that we ended up in the spot that we're at.
Okay.
Just, it's really kind of nice being isolated. We never have parking problems.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and for a lot of our customers, it's, a mile, 2 miles away from home. So really easy for people to get to.
Yeah, it is close by the freeway exit and entrance, so I do know that is a very easy way to get in and get out.
Yeah.
I totally can appreciate being close to home as well, because I'm 5 minutes away from my office.
Yeah. Oh, it makes all the difference.
Oh yeah, I used to commute over an hour to work a long time ago, and it's just such a much better quality of life when you're close by your house.
Yeah.
So I definitely can appreciate that for sure. So you started 5-6 years ago. You got into pizza first, and then you developed your menu. Who was in charge of kind of growing your menu or developing your menu?
Well, so we've had 4 chefs at the restaurant now, and every one of them has, molded it a little bit.
Okay. Gotcha.
But yeah, our first chef, Scott Sorensen, he took what we were sort of envisioning and just made it a lot better. Because we had zero experience
or background, yeah.
And so when Cisco came and was trying to sell us prepackaged stuff, we're like, that might make sense. And Scott was like, no, nothing prepackaged. So we make everything in-house from scratch.
Yeah, I
everything.
bought some bread from you guys before.
Okay.
I tried it, and it's really good bread. And I'm like, oh, okay, this tastes like somebody put some time into it, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. Anytime you can kind of use fresh ingredients, of course, that's kind of the big push anyway. Is to use fresh ingredients and to use organic ingredients and kind of have that healthier type approach to it. So. That sounds great. Do you guys make your own pasta, or do you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So our current chef, Josh Johnson, he, has continued that and just expanded on it. So we have a few different types of pasta. We did up until restaurants shut down. So now we're primarily serving just rigatoni.
Okay.
But we have a special pasta tonight on the menu. So.
Oh, what pasta is that?
It's a spinach and ricotta ravioli.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw an Instagram post you had for your ravioli. Or not the ravioli, was it the... you just said the name of it now. It's just slipped my mind.
Rigatoni.
The rigatoni, right, right.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can go buy it from you prepackaged or packaged for takeout? Is that what we can do?
Yeah, so we're currently, we've decreased our menu to the things that will travel well.
Okay.
So you can order anything on that menu ready to eat and hot. Or we also have a number of items that are, we've got some grocery items, and then we've got some things that you take and make at home.
Okay.
And now we have take and shake cocktails, which is really exciting.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you also take out wine and beer and all that kind of stuff too as well?
Yeah.
That's interesting and amazing that they kind of made that exception for us for these days, in these times.
Fantastic.
And,
because with everybody kind of shut in, it gets depressing, and not like you want to use cocktails to take away your depression, but it's a nice
little bonus, and you got to go buy something to eat, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. I've seen that a lot more, and I'm like, okay, that's probably a good idea. What are your favorite items on the menu? Like, what is if you had to tell somebody, well, you got to try, these 3 things, what would you say, are the must tries for the menu?
Okay, so on our current takeout menu, pizza-wise, lately I've been eating a lot of hefes and honey pot. Okay. Those are really delicious.
What are those comprised, or what are they? What's on the hefe?
So the hefes, it's an olive oil base with caramelized onions and smoked mozzarella and our house-made sausage. Okay. That's really yummy. And then the honey pot is a tomato base with pickled onions and fontina and mozzarella and grana cheese. And then we fire it and we top it with fresh prosciutto crudo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah,
and then we do a
good.
drizzle of honey on it. Oh, and they're Fresno chilies. So you get spicy and you get sweet.
Oh, okay.
So it's a really yummy combination.
Yeah, spicy sweet and is always a good combination.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Any salads you guys had that you can recommend, or that you think is a little different than maybe other places?
So, our most popular salad is the farro salad. So it's not greens.
Oh, okay.
It's so farro is a grain.
It's grain, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So grain-based salad, so sort of like rice, but a little heartier. Okay. And then we put our pesto on it and sun-dried tomatoes and arugula. So a few greens, but not too many. It's really great, and it's super filling and super healthy.
Well, it sounds like that. It's pretty healthy, so that's good.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. Why don't you backtrack a little bit and kind of go back to when you first started? Like, what were some of the challenges that you had when you first started your business?
Oh my gosh!
I mean,
the day that we opened for our soft opening, we thought we had everything kind of figured out, and we were maybe an hour away from opening, and we're like, well, wait a minute, how do we take orders? What do we, just the very granular. The basic things. We're like, we don't know. And luckily we had a couple of great servers who could fix us. So, and you know, with any new restaurant, there's so many things that you don't know until you do it.
That kind of goes with anything, you know. Same way with me in real estate. It's like you had to kind of learn as you go almost.
Yeah.
It's almost the only way to do it is like trial and error.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I totally understand that completely. Anything else that sticks out in your mind as far as maybe marketing, advertising of the business, or growing the business? Any kind of challenges on that end of it?
You know, we've never really done any advertising. It's all social media.
Mm-hmm,
so it's been very, I think, organic, slow growth.
Okay.
Which is what we needed, because otherwise we wouldn't have been able to, you know, fix the problems as we went.
Got it. Yeah.
So it's grown steadily and really nicely. And
would you say you have a group of regulars at the restaurant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would guess, you know, 50 to 60% of our customers are regulars, which is really great. And especially right now, the community support is so incredible.
Wow, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Yeah, Redlands is a really special town.
Yeah, we're very tight-knit here, so I can appreciate that totally. Yeah. I imagine, well, with your location, I imagine a lot of people passing through, maybe on their way to Palm Springs or on their way back to LA, might stop by and try it out.
We get some. I'd say really, for the most part, you know, I would guess 90% of our customers are just right here in town.
Okay.
But, you know, certainly there are the ones that, you know, they're yelping as they drive and they're hungry. And like, so when Charlize Theron came in, I think that's why. Because they were heading out, I don't know.
Maybe to Coachella or something.
and they ended up at the restaurant, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Did you get a photo to put on the wall?
No. No, we don't really. I figure just
it would
enjoy.
It would have been funny to have it, but
yeah.
That's awesome. So what are your plans for the future? Do you see anything changing in a big way? Do you ever think about expanding, moving from your location to another location in the city? Anything like that? Or are you guys kind of content with the way everything is going right now?
Yeah, it would take an awful lot to consider opening another restaurant.
Yeah.
We, like 2 years ago, we doubled our space. So we expanded just next door. Okay. And that was a really good move. But opening a different location, oh my gosh, I don't think so. No, it would take an awful lot.
Oh, I gotcha. How many people can your current location accommodate as far as, you know, people?
Right about 80 people.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when you guys first started, it was a lot smaller.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like 30 people it seemed like could fit in there or so?
Yeah, I want to say it was 45.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
But, you know, including the patio. But just really, really tight quarters. Yeah, so.
Yeah, it kind of brings us into the current situation where we're at, you know, now with the virus and the lockdown and all that going on. I mean, I know that's been a lot of hardship for a lot of people. So, how do you see things going forward? I mean, I asked a few different restaurants, well, how much is this affecting your business? I mean, obviously it's a big deal not to be able to go in and eat at the restaurant. But I think you kind of touched on it, that you have some regulars that are still kind of coming in, ordering food and so forth. Yeah. So, I mean, is this something that you're going to be able to, you know, sustain for a while? And, you know, I mean, what if this order lasts another 30 days, 45 days, you know, what do you think the outlook is for your business?
It's a really good question, because, you know, for ourselves as consumers, we're trying to get out and support other restaurants. Okay. And it's a very real question of, okay, well, how long, you know, with things sort of, with the economy temporarily, we hope, depressed,
Yeah.
how much can we afford to go out and eat? You know, can we do that 5 nights a week, 6 nights a week? It's a little bit tough. So, and I think everybody is sort of
kind of feeling the same thing. Yeah.
trying to balance, being able to support restaurants and still, maintain their finances at home.
Right. Right.
So one thing we're working on right now is making several like family size meals at a really low price where
I noticed, I noticed a lot of restaurants kind of doing that same thing, doing like meals for 4, meals, family style meals.
Yeah.
Where people come in and order, and it seems like it's a little bit lower in price.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good idea to kind of cater towards that market where people want to buy a meal for their family, but they don't want to spend $80 for the meal. Right?
Yeah, there are only so many nights a week you can do that.
I know.
Or so many nights a month that you can do that.
Right.
It gets expensive, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It used to be that eating out was kind of a treat.
Right.
I think, me and my wife got used to eating out quite a bit where we were going maybe almost every other day.
Right.
But now we cut back quite a bit, obviously.
Exactly.
We still try and go to local places, smaller establishments in town. And not so much to chain restaurants.
Right.
So I think that's also something that people kind of have in the back of their mind, is that they understand that this is going to affect the smaller businesses to a larger extent. So I think the combination of those businesses recognizing that they do have that support, that people do want to support them, and that they're willing to kind of also change around their menu, their pricing system, and so forth, to kind of put out food that will allow people to come afford to buy it and still make enough money to kind of support your business while the situation is still developing.
Right. Yeah.
I think that's a big part of this whole ordeal that's kind of like coming to the forefront. And so, I definitely think that if you guys are there, still providing quality meals and a little bit more affordable on pricing, and now that you can add cocktails.
I know, exactly.
That actually brings a good question to my mind here. Cocktail-wise, is this something that you guys normally have a cocktail menu that you run? Okay.
Yeah.
So how about that? What is a couple popular drinks on your menu that you kind of find people are ordering?
So our most popular cocktail now and before is the Ancho East Side. So
sounds spicy.
It's not really.
No?
It's not like a. I mean, we do use a Ancho Reyes Poblano chili liqueur, but it's not. It's not
too much
spicy.
Okay.
It's not hot spicy. It's flavorful spicy.
Oh, okay.
So, and there's cucumber juice in there, which sort of balances the spice and keeps it
a little cooler,
easier. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little mint. It's really good. So we serve it in a big mason jar. It's 6 portions in one jar. Oh, wow. Depending on the person.
Okay, so that's a family style cocktail.
Yeah. So now I'm trying to think of what kind of little pack can we put together for parents who are homeschooling their kids right now. Yeah. A drink for the kids and a drink for the parents. You've got milk and old fashioned. Yeah. I don't know.
Makes that homeschooling experience a little bit easier for the parents. Yeah, totally get that.
That's not easy.
You guys serve beer and wine too, so how do you go about ordering the beers for your restaurant? You use a lot of local breweries, or how do you choose them?
So beer is all my husband. I'm not a beer drinker, so that's his job at the restaurant is to order beer. Okay. And he's a big IPA drinker, so our list is sort of IPA heavy. I think. Yeah. But If you're an IPA drinker, then
that's kind of
it's
for
not.
the serious beer drinker.
Yeah.
They love their IPAs. I get
know,
it.
yeah.
A lot of hops.
Yep.
But yeah, and I heard your thing was wine. Is that
Yes, yeah. So I'm the wine drinker.
the wine expert, right?
Yeah, right there. That's it.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so how do you go about choosing wines for the restaurant? Is there anything that you look for in particular, or any locations that you go to?
Boy, so right now, so I always avoid wines that you can buy in the market.
Okay.
I mean, Gerard's is an exception because it's a different type of market. But if you can find it at Albertsons or Trader Joe's, then we probably won't carry it.
Okay.
At least not intentionally. But I look for just small boutique wineries, small production, ideally organic and sustainable, but not always. And labels are a big thing for me. So if it's got a cool label, there's a website for the industry, and I spend hours just going through and looking at regions and then labels, and then I'll contact the vendor.
I see. So you kind of order the wines directly from the distributor or the producer.
No, from the distributor.
Distributor. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you kind of work on pairing the wines with certain plates? Is that kind of how you might choose a wine? Is if something you think will go well with this pasta or that salad or so forth, or?
Sometimes, yes. Really, it's just when I taste it, if I like it, then I'll probably order it, and then we'll figure out what it can pair with.
Okay.
Yeah, so when we do wine education with the servers, we'll sit there and talk about the wine, and then pull out a few things from the kitchen and try some pairing, and because it helps to be able to taste it and pair it and then talk about it.
Right. Yeah, no, I can see that. I'm not nowhere near a wine expert. My daughter goes to school up in Napa.
Oh, nice.
And so I've, over the past few years, I've kind of gotten a lot more astute when it comes to wines. But, I'm still pretty new to the whole wine experience.
Yeah. But once
like,
once it gets its hooks in you, it's hard to pull out. But it's not a bad thing.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's healthy.
Yeah, it has good antioxidants, right? And we all need our antioxidants right now.
Yep.
I'm drinking coffee in the morning for antioxidants, so wine in the afternoon.
Yep, and then
green
cocktails
tea.
with fresh juice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, all the fresh squeezed juice if you can. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So, no, I like that. No, I think it's also on everybody's minds these days is trying to eat organic and healthy.
Yeah.
Just to kind of boost all your immune system so you can have a better chance to kind of, be healthier during these times for sure.
Yep. It's huge.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I kind of also I appreciate the fact that you use all those organic ingredients, local ingredients, things that take that into account, when you're eating your meals. Definitely think it's important.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. I think that is. Any other questions you want to ask, Cameron?
What's a how do you say it?
Oh, sommelier. Sommelier.
So sommelier is a wine expert, quote unquote. So I'm pursuing my certification through the Court of Masters of Sommeliers, and they're different guilds, I guess, or groups that offer education and certification. So I went with the Court of Masters, and this is the one that you see on Netflix on the Somm shows that they've done, the documentaries. And so that course, there are 4 levels, and so what they're showing on the program is levels 3 and 4, and the level of knowledge is insane. So I'm at level 2.
Okay.
I did 1 and 2, and so I'm certified, and then there's advanced, and then there's master. And so the level that I'm at is, obviously nobody can see me, but I'm at a pretty low level, and then it gets exponentially harder when you go up to level 3 and then up to level 4.
Oh, okay.
It's just huge. I mean, their level of knowledge is crazy.
I was gonna say, if you taste the wine, I notice how some people can say, "Oh, there are notes of these different fruits and spices and all that kind of stuff." So, I mean, that seems pretty complex.
Yes, but it's just like with any certain I wouldn't call it muscles, but it's just like any kind of exercise where you're developing certain muscles.
Okay.
Same sort of thing. So the more you practice, the more things stand out, and the more you recognize them. And a lot of it is, like memory. That's not quite what I'm looking for, but you smell something and it takes you back to high school, or a certain very specific place.
Yeah.
So it's keeping those connections alive and developing those.
Wait, you could smell a wine and you know where it's from, or like you?
Oh, not me.
Oh, that's
But
3, 4.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean, and level 4. So where I'm at level 2, I when I took my exam, I had to identify the country that the wine was from.
Oh, okay.
But then as you get up to the different levels, it'll take it down to a region or a vineyard.
Oh,
just from tasting it and smelling it. Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
It really is. So, and there's, there's talk about, that's bullshit. That's not real. And there have been a few studies where they have sort of debunked it. But I've seen enough people do it. There's something to it. And just the amount of knowledge that they have. It's crazy.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
One other question I had. I think you guys have a pizza oven at your place.
Yep.
So, what's the difference between cooking a pizza in a pizza oven versus like going to Domino's where it goes through the conveyor belt?
Okay.
I know it looks like a huge difference, but what is the different effect on the pizza?
So our oven, it's completely wood fired, so there's no gas in our oven at all. And so when we go in the morning, 7 or 8 o'clock, we'll start up the fire. And when you open the door in the morning, it's already at about 400 degrees, just from the night before. So we start up the fire and we bake our bread, and the primary difference besides the heat is the wood. So we use citrus wood in our oven.
Okay.
And so you just get that smoky flavor from the wood.
Okay.
Because it's cooking right next to the wood.
Oh, wow.
And then the heat, the oven gets up to about 900 degrees is where we keep it for dinner. And so the pizza cooks fast in 2 minutes or less.
Oh, wow.
And so you get the crunchy but chewy.
That's okay. So that's what it
crust.
is. So you get the crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside type effect on the. Okay,
exactly.
That's what I was thinking. Nice.
Yeah.
And you guys all you have all thin crust pizzas, no thick or anything like that, right?
Nope.
Yeah.
Not
that's
right
like
now.
That's like the authentic thin crust style pizza.
Yeah.
I've had it in Italy, in Naples, and I'm like, oh, you know what? It's all right. It tastes good. It's healthy.
And everybody has their style of pizza that they like. Yeah. Some people like the New York or Chicago, or everybody's got their
own preferences for sure. Yeah, interesting. Okay. Wait, what are we at?
I got a bunch of wine questions, but
you got more wine questions?
All right.
Okay, so obviously you being, I would say you know a lot more than the average person. So for Carlos is married. If he wanted a nice date night and wanted to impress the wife,
okay,
what wine would he impress with? And then for a single guy going on dates with girls like myself, how do I impress the date? Being like, oh yeah, let me order this. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good question.
So a married wine versus a single guy wine.
Okay. So or you could call it weeknight wine versus weekend wine.
Ooh.
wine.
Okay,
So same sort of idea.
Okay.
So it depends on your price range. That's a big factor. But so let's say we're trying to keep it under $100 for a bottle.
For
Yeah.
the single guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about my list. And anytime I go out to dinner somewhere, like there are a couple restaurants in LA, and I always look at the wine list ahead of time because then I can look up, oh, that looks interesting. Well, let me read about it. But based on our wine list, so we have, I'm doing specials every few days.
Okay.
So you can get a bottle that normally in the restaurant would be $50, and now you can get it for $30 or 25, something like that.
Yeah.
So a mid-range wine of about $40-$50 that I just put it on the website today. It's the Castellare Chianti Classico, and it's a great Chianti. And I normally don't like Chianti at all, but it's a solid, great wine. And then, so that would be a weeknight wine.
Okay.
And then if you wanted to sort of step it up a little bit, we've got, Washington State has some phenomenal wine.
Oh, really?
That's the region that's super interesting to me, Washington State and Portugal, both.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Really great wines at value prices.
Yeah.
And so there's Syrah that we're pouring out of Columbia Valley, Washington. Elephant 7. So good. It's
So what are the characteristics of a Syrah? Because I had a client who really liked Syrah, and I'm like, I didn't know anything about Syrah.
so it depends on what region it comes from. So if you get a California Syrah, it's probably going to be really fruity
Okay.
and not sweet, but super fruity.
Okay.
Because it's warmer here, and so the grapes ripen a lot more. But if you go further north, so Washington State, where the grape region there, it's not rainy like it is in Seattle. It's like the high desert here.
Okay.
So a lot of temperature variability between day and night. But the grapes there, the Syrah there, is much more like a French Syrah, where you get pepper and herbs and
Okay.
a lighter fruit style. Definitely still
More
fruit.
depth to it. More depth.
Yeah.
More ingredients.
Yeah, because when it's cooler, it allows the grapes to develop more
Okay.
complexity.
Interesting, yeah.
Where California, they tend to ripen fast, and so there's not all that,
Extra
science
stuff.
going on in the grapes. I don't know. Yeah.
Nice.
Wait,
Okay.
so I need to back up because I don't even know what Syrah is.
It's a grape.
Oh, it's a grape.
Yeah.
It's a style of grape. Yeah, I think it's a type of
So-
grape.
I was gonna say, is that how they name all the wines based on the grape?
Well, depends on where the wine is from. So in France, they don't put the grape on the bottle. They put the region or
okay.
the estate or the
Right.
chateau on the bottle. So you have to know what region it is to know what grape it is. It's really, French labels are super, and
lot
German
more.
labels are even, and Italian labels, geez. European labels, forget it.
I think they take themselves a little too seriously.
Oh,
over
man.
there.
Yeah, it's really hard to know what you're
They try
getting.
and make it hard just so that they can say, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
It's hard to understand.
But California or U.S. labels, you'll see the grape on there, and the region, and depending on different states have different labeling laws. So in most states, if you see the name of grape on the label, you'll know that it's at least 75% that grape, and maybe a little bit blended in. But
Gotcha.
And Syrah in the first long name that you said, that's for the
Chianti.
that's for the under $100.
Yeah, both of those. And these are restaurant prices. So if you can find these in a retail outlet, they're going to be less expensive.
Right.
And I'm in the process right now of dropping all of our wine prices to closer to retail. Since no one's drinking the wine in the restaurant,
Right.
let's at least keep the wine moving.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's a
makes
really good
sense.
time for people to explore
Different styles and
boutique
type wines.
wines
Yeah, that's actually a
at
good idea.
lower prices.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're kind of like developing a clientele for the future too.
Right, exactly.
That's a good idea, yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's what I'm working on right now is putting out specials
Okay.
and drawing attention to certain wines.
So
Nice.
for Carlos, what's a good gift wine for the wife? Like if he didn't know, if he never asked her what her favorite wine was, what's a good like?
Well,
First of all, how would you figure that out? How would you figure out like what's a good wine for someone without asking?
Oh gosh, that's a hard one because people have different
some people like
preferences.
sweet, some people like drier, wine, some people like sweeter wine,
Yeah, and
white versus red, that kind
Uh-huh.
of thing. So
I feel like if you're going with a red wine, it's always safe to go with a Pinot Noir or a Cab Sauv because those are kind of the two mainstream
popular
grapes.
Mm-hmm.
And Pinot Noir, there's a great one, Chenin, from Oregon.
Okay.
It's really nice. And Cab, oh gosh, there's so many. We're pouring one right now from Santa Barbara
Oh, okay.
that.
That kind of leads me to one other question I was going to ask you. So, what like local wineries in California are your favorite? Like if you said like you had to go to the Napa Valley area or you have to go to Temecula, where do you go to? What's your first stop? Or where do you buy the most at?
Gosh, that would assume that we actually go places.
You're too busy working at the restaurant, right?
We got away a couple months ago and went up to Sonoma. That's a tough question.
Nothing sticks because I go to if I go to Napa, I have to stop at Visa Tui. That's like my favorite local winery there. Just the overall experience, the wines and everything there is really, really good. So that is usually my first stop. That's where I usually buy the most wine at is at that winery.
Got it.
Are you able to write off your trips to like wineries and so forth?
Certainly while I'm studying, yeah.
Yeah, that's part of your education process.
I've been putting them down as education. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I'll assume that gets by the accountant.
Yeah.
Or gets the sign off.
Checks the box, right?
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I'll be
You know what? Next time, next time we have to have some wine here. So
shoot!
I should have had you bring in a bottle to kind of like, we could have done a little wine tasting here too.
Yeah.
Next time I'll be like, all right, where's this from?
I know.
Your test, right?
Wine challenge.
Yeah. All right. Next time.
Next time, yeah, for sure.
We'll do that.
Or when I go in for that black cod, we'll have a wine taste.
There we go. I'm in. Yep.
Awesome.
But yeah, definitely. If you have, like, if you're getting ready to go out for dinner and you have a question, just text me.
Yeah.
I'll try and make some suggestions.
Yeah. I'll be in the middle of the day. I'm like, hey, Lori, what's the best wine?
Yeah, no, seriously, take a picture of the list. Yeah. Because there are always, on every list, there's some solid names that they always put out good wine. Like Ridge. If you ever see Ridge, you know it's going to be good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in beer. If you see something from Russian River, you know it's going to be a good beer.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so I get it, understand it, yeah.
What's your favorite wine? Or if you were to get a gift from someone, what would be like? What would be like a?
Is it Cab?
A gift, and you were like, oh wow, oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, there's so many. There's so many that would just make my day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That makes it easy.
Yeah.
You know? You don't have to find that one certain bottle, right? You can just, here we go.
You figure if you're shopping for a gift and you see something from Washington State that's in the $60 range, it's going to be a
solid,
pretty great bottle. It's hard to say with Napa because everything is so high. Prices are so high in Napa.
Yeah.
So
Washington is kind of like the hidden gem right now. Got it.
Interesting.
Awesome. All right.
Yeah, on that question, I'm ready to go on a date, doesn't
You
it?
good? Now you feel equipped with the wine knowledge, so you're ready to go.
Yeah, as long as I got Lori in my pocket, I'm
Yep.
good.
Perfect.
Well, thank you, Lori. I appreciate it so much. It was awesome talking to you.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you here for a little bit and share your information on the restaurant and your experience. So yeah, look forward to coming back once the restaurant opens and trying some of the new menu items.
Yeah.
And I want to see if I can find some of that family style offerings that you guys have.
Yeah.
You guys post that on Instagram
Yep.
or
Yeah. So
mostly?
we're doing. But I've spent more time on Instagram in the last week than
I think everybody has.
ever.
We're all working on
put
social
together.
media these days.
Yeah. So yeah, we're posting at least twice a day.
Okay.
But anytime, I'm afraid people are going to get tired of us. But
No.
anytime we think of
no.
something new, we're taking pictures and
That's the way to do it these days, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure. I'll keep my eyes open for that too.
awesome.
Okay?
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Laurie.
Well, thank you.
Uh-huh.